see people there by the dozens sitting around waiting. One whispers to the other, "What are they doing?" They're just chit-chatting because they don't understand the occult symbology of a courtroom. It's like that court where you play that game of basketball or baseball or soccer. There's two teams. In this particular place, there's the team of the lawyers. In the other end, there's the team where the judge is the referee. And each one of those people that have been brought in there by one ticket or something that they are being accused of doing is stuck in the middle, has to defend themselves, not knowing that even if they have been appointed a lawyer, that lawyer is going to make sure that he gets paid, that the court gets paid, because it's a corrupt system that has been established since World War I. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Bill of Rights. You have, and it belongs to you, the right to express the freedom of speech. It is limiting in certain occasions. But let me say this. Why would there be a law that forces you to have to pay for everything that you do in life? You're born, the doctor has to sign your birth certificate. In every country, you know this. You die, the doctor has to sign it. That's how their system has established this. And I'm referring to the system of the elites. EL means electricity. That juice, that electrical current, that without that current, they would not be able to use upon the corporations. Because I'm not sure if you understand this. You have become a corporation if you allow it, of the state of wherever you live at. But in my case, I reside in Louisiana state. That's not a corporation. And there I am, a sovereign individual that has the freedom of movement. Today, I had an appointment there. And I knew what I was going to do. Because I refuse to accept that the name that by which I go by is set on that computer all in capital letters. Why is that? When my name should be the first letter capital and the other letters small letters. Because the corporation. But so the judge says, our system automatically puts it in that way. I think if you know enough, that is not true. That referee is there to get paid. The court is the bank. That's why in the law of the sea, the ship, the product goes in between the river banks. That's why there is that area where you sit at, that's the land. Once you go past that gate, you are going on to the river banks. And that's where you are judged if you allow it. This corrupt system has made it to where it was established in England because the king and queen, they wanted a piece of you, a piece of that product When that product came to be at birth, when you were in your mother's womb, you were a non-existent product, being. On your birth certificate, it states that your parent, your mother, was the one that announced, that declared you're into existence, into that corporation. That's where they changed everything. It doesn't show in the birth certificate that so-and-so is the mother of the child so-so. It says a number. And that number, you can search it out in the stock market. You are a stock. Are you good stock or bad stock? Like cattle, you have been marked by that number. It comes in black letters, red letters, or blue letters. And that's where I opened up the can of worms today. Because for far too long in this country, I have paid taxes on top of taxes. And in many ways, they have done a lot of things to stop my own business to succeed, to allow other people to come and join me and establish something, because we have to have the approval of the elites. EL stands also for elected, that elected official. At the elections, you were made to think that you were voting for somebody that was going to take into account your opinion, that was going to work on your behalf, defend you, and protect you. But that person was already chosen by the elites. There's a hierarchy. An excuse if that word is pronounced, but that's as good as I get. Me, myself, and I, believe me, I am doing a super job, because I believe in the super being that is in you, in me, and we're not alone. This can of worms is gonna go somewhere. It's gotta go somewhere. Because this is a fight for freedom. Did not Martin Luther King say that he had a dream, and I have that dream? He said, where all nations and all races would one day be free. So how about if we start now, more than ever? Because I know that there is a group of agriculturists in Europe that are making a stand with their tractors. They're not allowing their governments to keep controlling them, to keep dictating them what to do with their product. Their crops are being destroyed, their livelihood destroyed. I was shaking like a leaf when I walked in that courtroom. And I kept making notes just to keep myself calm. Because I'm on the 30 plus people that were in there. If you were to see the look in their eyes were glassy, most of them. That humiliation of having to pay a penalty for not wearing a seatbelt, for not having a license, for stepping on somebody's ground. One in particular, she could barely walk. The pain, the excruciating pain that she was going physically, because she's undergoing something really bad, which I can't even pronounce because it sounds very dangerous, sounds a very bad illness. And my memory and I, we fail at times. She was picked up because she stole something from a store. Do you know how much people are suffering now? The poverty, It's so, so bad. Most people can't even pay all their bills. If they pay Paul, they can't pay Sam. They can't pay the electric bill. They postpone the phone bill. They pay the water, but now they can't eat. That's what I mean. That's where these elites have taken us to. By controlling us through fear, they have squeezed every dollar in whichever direction we turn. That carriage, beautifully gold decorated, in which she used to take her trips around, that came from your money. Those temples that are built, that those religious entities say, come, and you can meet the Savior, will intervene for you. That's been built with your money. I shared this with you a couple videos before, including the one from last night, where you're supposed to donate 10% of what you produce. And many of you have been giving it to who? To the temple? Because you forgot that the temple, it's you. The light of man is in their eye, but not these eyes. In this eye, in your mind. We have come to a point where we don't give ourselves time to walk in the park and find that peace and talk to God and remember the beautiful words and teachings of Jesus that said, everything that I do, you can do as well. That no man is above any other man. That we are all equal. And that God's promises of the promised land of milk and honey, and those entities, those corporations and organizations tell you, just sit there, just keep praying. You don't have to bother about nothing, because they want you there without asking questions. Because they don't want you to believe in yourself. They don't want you to learn that when you put yourself together, your thoughts and your heart, in that beautiful body that you have, because you are beautiful. You live, you breathe, you exist. And that the light that is within you, that pineal gland, that solar plexus, will allow the spirit of your light to be united with the rest of you, because that has been divided. I know I took a little detour. To see those people one by one be walking outside with their glassy eyes, knowing now they have to pay $50 or $100 every month, month by month, until they end up paying the penalty. Because that's what a referee does. When you play in that court and you do things outside of the law, what does the referee do? Go sit down. 2 games. You get a red flag. You get a yellow flag. You get so many of this. They gotta punish you. This is exactly the same. Their system has set up to where the money that you so hardly work for, taking it away from the food and the clothing of your own children, your own family, or of your own self, you have to give it to them. That is the corrupt system that we have been following for so many generations behind us. Since World War I, Thomas Jefferson wrote the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, so we would be protected. They don't have to give us our rights. Our rights are ours. The freedom of speech, freedom of press. Very clearly says there, you don't go out there to pursue a story. Imagine me. I only told my youngest child what I had to do today. I'm there, my God and I and all those people. And when I said to the lawyer, I want to make use of my First Amendment, he said, go back there, sit down, and wait. I'm down to the last 2 more people that have to go. And then the other one, the final one, leaves. I'm in the courtroom where there is 2 women. On to the right, there's 4 men. To the left, there's other 2 men and the judge. So that's 4 men, 2 women, 6, 2 more lawyers, 8, and the judge, 9. I'm shaking like a leaf, and I am saying this. I know your game. I know the symbology in a court. What are you trying to say? That you don't accept the charge of holding the phone while you were driving? I said, I am being accused of not wearing a seatbelt. And the lawyer said, no, I corrected it. I said that you can take a lesser charge that you were not wearing a seatbelt, and we'll settle for that. And I said, no. They said, then you are stating that you are not guilty? I did not respond. You may sign there. I said, what if I don't want to sign? We'll set up a date for April 13th. And I went like that. They gave me the papers. And because I know the judge from previous times and the lawyer, they said that if they could excuse themselves. I said no. And I said to the judge, when I met you, when I heard that you were going to come to be a judge in this court, I believed that a handsome guy like you, something like that I said, fresh knowledge in a town, could do something different for the people and help the people and be for the people. And then the lawyer reminded me that I have also interacted with him via phone, business-wise, some advertising. I said, oh, nice to meet you. Regret the circumstances, but because I was not furious, but I was firm and shaky because I'm all alone in there. But then again, throughout my whole life, I have faced me, myself, with my God. I have gone through those battles. Just me, just this body. But today, because I so fervently believe in this corrupt system, that it is time that I make a stand. And at the end of the day, you will know how far. I mean, I will go somewhere. Not sure how far, and I'm not sure if any of you are ready or know somebody that could give a helping hand. Because the children's dad, and one of my children said, let it go. Don't pick this battle. And I said, this is not my battle. It's our battle. Nobody wants to do nothing. Nobody wants to speak up. It has been going on for far too long, and I don't believe that. We gotta be the change. And as I shared with you last night, all those experiences that every one of you have gone through was a lesson to make you be the person that you are today. Maybe you are not ready. to make a stand. That's okay. I ain't making mine. But for all of us. And I will repeat again. In my case, I came to the state, Louisiana state. I did not give permission. I did not volunteer to the state of Louisiana, which is the corporation, to act on my behalf or set me as that stock to pay the debt of the nation. Because that is what happened in World War I. Since then, every one of you has been set up without your knowledge, most of you, to pay the debt of the nation. The more you work, the more money. But what debt? The elites, they print money like crazy. Paper bills. They don't mean anything. They have their best lives. They enjoy everything at the expense of most of the humans that work every day. What is it? 60% of humanity works 9 to 5, 40, 50, 60 hours a day, a week, earning how much? And you get taxed on top of tax on top of tax. The year comes by, you gotta pay property taxes. Every time you go out there to have a permit to drive, you gotta pay a fee. Every movement you do to build, rebuild, destroy a property or a building, I know of somebody, he was stopped for months from restoring, from finishing up the building that he was setting up for his business, a mail service business. Because he has to get somebody that is certified. Certified electrician, certified air conditioning, AC person. And who certifies? The one that should be certified to give the quality of the food that we consume. Nobody. Of the water that we drink. Of the air we breathe. Nobody. Because it's all part of the system that they have established. Because they get away with everything. But not you. We are not those people, whether we are beautiful or not on the outside. That's not us. You are those thoughts, those feelings in that heart, that body, whether you're missing one arm or one eye. That's part of you. But they have divided you to where your body is working hard, barely thinking, almost on an automated mode, to produce, to pay that debt. How do you feel now? Are you happy with your life? Are you willing to not do nothing and allow your children and your children's children and the future generations to go through the same thing? You work 50, 60 years of your life and then you're ready to die. And then you'll be born into an animal, a plant, who knows what. We'll leave it at that. Because you will always exist. That's as far as I can tell you. You are a beautiful, powerful energy that you do not know yet how big is your potential. And yet today, you have been controlled, and I say you, because most of the time, most of the years that I have lived in this country, in the other years in other countries, I was usually almost independent, where I could choose when I wanted to work and when I did not want it to work, where I would put my money. Still taxed everywhere, left and right. But instead of choosing the red pill or the blue pill, I always chose myself. Up until a certain time ago, that I thought that I could be part of electing somebody that would help and be there to serve one another, that would represent us. But now you and I know that that's never, ever gonna happen. Now we know that there is somebody out there trying to do things to get you to wake up. And most of you still refuse to not wake up because these entities have made you a franchise, a stock. You know, stock, it's not alive. That number, that name on that paper, all in capital letters. Because it should be only the first letter capital and the rest of them small letters. As the individual with civil rights. Isn't that what states in the Constitution? But yet we have allowed ourselves to fall in the trap of their systems, of their rules, of their conditions. That we gotta move as they tell us. That we have no freedom. That your money is their money. Before you even get it, it's already theirs. Because you gotta pay all those taxes. Because you should not feed yourself, you gotta feed them. Can you imagine the queen, after smoking a cigarette, the first person that she saw in her front of her face, she would just throw that cigarette butt on their faces. Such low value, such disrespect towards others' lives. Because they see us like chickens, like ants. They step over us, they eat us. And you know that. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those 8 million people, all ages, disappearing every year. Where do you think it went? If you follow this video, you will catch some other crumbs. I believe his name is Donahue. I'm going to be sharing that on a short video with you that says, the Bible as you know it is just crumbs of what the true word of God for us really is. Because in the imperial times, the religious got together and said, oh, let me see that. No, we're not going to let them know that. Next one. They just gave us those crumbs. Just enough for you and I to search now who we are. I would very much love to hear from those people. All those people that are in prison right now. There was one young man in there. He said, in his conversation, he brought out all his story. I have been in jail for 9 years now. Your Honor, I'm not a little boy anymore. I've learned. In his words and other things that he expressed before he got up, he expressed such anger, frustration, the depth of his loss of all those 9 years in there, what he lost out here. You can feel it. Those other prisoners, a couple of them Latinos, chains on their ankles, tied by their hands with those handcuffs, those striped uniforms. I wanted to look at them and trust that I was going to be able to give them the look of saying, it's going to be okay. Someone is going to do something to get you out of there. And I had this light burning in me, telling myself, you can do this. You can begin in this town. Make a stand for yourself. It begins today. Make a stand to stop this cruelty, this tyranny, the systems that they are no longer. They should no longer stand to humiliate and destroy so many lives. I think there was only one, just for one split second, just crossed the eyes. But guess what? I handed a note to 3 other people, letting them know, you're gonna be okay. How can I assist you? Another one asked me, are you a lawyer? I did not respond yes or no. And I suggested to her to look up something. Throughout my whole life, I have been running away and fighting this evil that has many names, that walks in all kinds of people. And I'm not going to stop right now. I know there is somebody out there. And I know that you're going to come at the right time. Because we got to make a stand for all of us. This channel is here for anybody, whoever wants to make a comment, whoever wants to share, especially if you want to be part of that one champ that begins to make a stand for your future generations, for the whole humanity, even though many of them are going to be dragged with those entities. I have explained in other videos about the demiurge, about those beings. They're not gods. They made themselves look like gods because they had maybe the upper hand of knowing a couple things better than you. They were astute in setting up the systems. And now they have their archons in every town. They smile on your face. They laugh at you in your face just because you don't understand what you're facing and what the rules of this game is. Have you seen? I'm trying to think of the name. Something J. It starts with an M. Mayhew? One of the latest movies. I will try and post it on another video. Because right now, I'm just trying to be at ease and receive the guidance of our Creator, of our God, and feel His presence, because He makes me strong. With God by my side, Who can against us? Who can do anything against us? Look at this nature. Ask the animals. How do you do it? How do you survive? We are smart, but we are not the only smart race. There's many others. Let me disconnect from this video for now. I gotta take a sip of water. I'm running a little dry now. And I will get back later on. I know that this video is going to the right hands. And as I stated there, anything that may happen to me, you will know. How far we get, it's up to you to be part of it. Because I know I'm not alone, and the right people are going to come for us together to restore our freedom. Because it should have happened a long time ago. We should have been born in a free world, in a world to be happy, instead of just being on survival mode. I love you. I love your soul. I love your existence. Because we all are equally loved children of God. Bye.